We're at Black Rock State Park in Thomaston, and we've talked about it. We had a report from here going back to the 70s with that whole throwing of the raccoon thing. And I mean, just look at this place. You got some of the biggest evergreen trees in the area here. And I mean, it's just squatchy. The minute I get back in here, I get that I'm being watched feeling. Not so much right now. But wow, is it squatchy back here. And as you saw, come on. We got our faithful squatch repellent dog here. I got distracted by the dog. But so the campground's closed. And this is part of the campground trail system. But with the campground being closed, there's no federal employees or state employees left anyway to do these state parks, so I guess here in 2025, the way things are, no forestry service, none of that, no rangers. I feel bad for the federal workers. I always thought that was a good job to have with security, but it's a free-for-all now. Well, that's what we're gonna do. But those rules, really, we're not breaking the rules. They apply from April to October. And you can see, wow. Well, if I was going to camp, it would be right there. Let's see what site number this is. Well, this is the area. I'm gonna come camping here this year. I wasn't aware of this section of the campground. This is really where it's nice. You get yourself in this area here. You're right by the river over there. And that's too icy. I'm not gonna go look for the numbers. Oh, here we are. 93. Oh yeah, definitely getting back here. We'll get some reservations early. We'll get ourselves back here. And these 90s, 91. That one there is nice. So yeah, so we'll make reservations. Now we know. It's a funny thing. They don't let you come into the campground via the state park trail system, whereas like Macedonia does. Macedonia Brook State Park in Kent. That's a nice one too. Yeah, I would say that one. That's the one we're gonna go for. 88, that's the one. Right there, look at how far apart you are. And for Connecticut, or this one up here, we'll go see what number this one is. That might be the one. It's slanted. If you're in a tent, you don't want it slanted. All right, well, we're gonna go in here. Well, oh, look what we come across again. So, yesterday we were at White Memorial. Was it White Memorial, camera person? Mohawk Mountain. And we saw a tree like this. So today, I speculated that it might be a mountain lion marking or like a scratch. And so I looked it up online. And yeah, that's what they were showing, this kind of damage. And it continues on this side. That's just about right, you know, and they're gonna just like a scratchy post, and some speculate a marking post. Look at this boulder field. Now, this trail goes up. We're not gonna do that today. We're not looking for this kind of crazy hike, but look at this thing. Like a little puck wedgie house, you know? We love the pucks, and I think the reason that they're mischievous, well, you read the Native American histories, and it wasn't always that way. I don't have any copper to leave them today. I don't have any offering at all for them, but just a hand of friendship from CCIS to the pucks. And this, to me, is the kind of place that they would be. I mean, you got so many little cave-like structures. They're not proper caves, but yeah. Oh, something just broke down here. Yeah, so something's been eating acorns in here. It's pretty cool. All right, we're gonna move on. Oh, yes. And this is mica schist. It's just full of mica. And we're gonna continue along. And by the way, happy daylight savings time, everybody. We're back to sane time. So that's how I'm gonna call it right now. Insane time and sane time. Sane time is when you got a lot of sunlight and it's warmer. Insane time is when it's freezing cold and you turn the clocks back an hour just to make the depression of being in winter even greater. That's insane time. Welcome to sane time. Feel free to use that, but you heard it here first. Daylight savings time. No, it's sane time. The other trail's right here. I just love this place. I don't come here enough. This is just really nice. Spectacular. So you see, part of the problems with these trails here that are used a lot in the winter is even when the ground is thawed out, the snow gets compacted. And then it melts, and then it refreezes, and it melts, and it refreezes, and it just makes a nice, slippery skating rink type situation. We're gonna go back up here. Every time I come here, I am just really impressed This is awesome. Look at this. Now this is a sumac tree, right? And when you see these red caps on here, the seed-bearing berries, flowers, whatever you want to call them, seed buds, the red sort of flame shape, you can make a drink that tastes an awful lot like lemonade from those. And I think we're going to try that. We'll give Richard Sear to drink. Or Chris Calabrese. It's time for Chris. Richard Sear gets the pine. Chris is going to drink the sumac lemonade. See if he lives. Hopefully we get the right species. And happy birthday, Chris. That's a solid 5 on the squatchometer of this place. And this connects into Army Corps of Engineers, the Metropolitan District Company, which sells our water to New York for some reason. You guys got to cut that out. And state parks, and then the White Memorial, and on, and the forests just continue. This is a vast tract of land. A lot of it is no trespassing, and there's an abundance of really high quality drinking water here. It's just spectacular. And that water coming off that dam, that has 0 GRD in it. You could drink that right there, and I bet that mineralized, oxygenated water, whew, you know that's good for you. That's coming from the bottom of the dam, so that's cold. I give you 3 minutes before hypothermia starts. All right, well that's it. We're gonna, oh, it's really nice. Daylight savings is nice. It's gonna be like this for hours. But that's about it. I mean, obviously we're at the end of the road here. And remember, track your way to our like and a subscribe button. Check out our store and get yourself some merchandise. And keep in mind that it's about getting out there. You can see again, there's a whole bunch of, this is really nice. There's a combination of hardwoods and evergreens, and the acorns are just everywhere here. This place, and you know they stock this with trout, so you got a pretty good forage base here. Here a person said fishing spot. I stopped fishing. I just can't go to the fish anymore. I guess if I was gonna eat them, yeah, okay. And you know I'd pick a whole bunch, but I'm seeing swimming spot. I see gravel, places to hang out, towel, dang, right here. Definitely. People in the house can watch you. Yeah, and in the spring and summer, you could just tell. That'll be all leaves. They won't see it. But look at it. Chop this tree down for no reason other than they probably just wanted sunlight here. speaking of trout, well, you guys that love trout fishing, you can come here trout fishing. It's catch and release only. But I don't see anybody here. On this the first week of March. Well, second week of March, March 9th. Daylight savings. We gotta make that permanent. Period. But man, the water's up. It's warm enough for some insects. Yeah, you get them here. You throw a spinner, rooster tail spinner, you get them. I love fishing. Fishing was my favorite thing to do since I was born. And I miss it. I just can't do it. I'm not even catch and release. I know they're there. I've caught my share of really big fish, exotic fish. But you avid fisher, you anglers, let's not say men, you anglers want to get out here before the proper season opens. Bang, right here. So this rock here, you could see it's white. It looks like quartz, right? But you see it's broken up into these little pieces, like here, almost like squares. This is pegmatite. And for you rock hounds, this is an indicator stone. What this means is when you find this, you can find beryl, aquamarine, garnets, all sorts of gems. So when you see that, you just keep an eye out. And then there's another one, and there's another one. They tourmaline, Vesuvianite, all kinds of cool stuff. Camera person's going away somewhere, and we'll miss the Winstead Gem and Mineral Show. We do it on location, but I don't do so good filming myself, so we'll wait for the one in Bristol. That's a good one too. Pursuant to RCSA section 23-4-1-E, alcoholic beverages are prohibited on this Connecticut property. Pursuant to CGS 23B-4B, effective July 1st, 2022, use of cannabis, marijuana, is prohibited on this state of Connecticut property. Just don't have any fun here. You come here, you get that right out of your mind. You know why? Because that butts up against the Army Corps of Engineers, and you hear me talking. I love those guys. Their facilities are awesome. Well, there it is. And as you see, we have a lot more no's. Okay, we want to remind you again, there's no alcohol, no boating, no swimming, even though that's a swimming area. Dogs on leash, and of course you can't be here at night. And this plaque is to honor the men and women, I'm going to say, of Camp Roberts Company 175, established in 1933 as part of the United States Civilian Conservation Corps. It's created by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Yeah, man, just a man. renewing the country's natural resources, and challenging the human spirit of a nation in depression. I'm gonna say nothing about that, but we'll see you out there.